Live Tuesday afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins, and it is gorgeous out there. Upper 70s, some 80s away from the water, and we've got a pretty good week of this, really. Sunday is our next rain chance, and that is also the next chance that we will see some cooler air coming back in here. I think it's actually going to be kind of chilly by Monday morning, too. So you can see our next 10 days. We should be about 74 degrees for an average high temperature this time of the year. We're going to be closer to 80. And that's for Tampa, and that's kind of pushing it right there by the water. But when you see these numbers in the near 80 degrees, you can add 4 or 5 degrees sometimes for inland locations because they're not sitting by the water, which is in the 60s right now. So that definitely keeps it colder. But you can see that cool down as we get into Monday. I think Monday morning is going to be windy, and it's going to be cold. So wind chills perhaps below freezing Monday morning. Upper 20s to low 30s is what it will feel like. The actual temperatures will likely be in the 30s and 40s. I think we're above freezing on Monday morning, but that's something that we'll be watching for you as we get closer to. We're in La Nina right now, and La Nina years, we tend to have a better chance for seeing freezing temperatures near the end of February, just on average, right? This year's a little different because it's all that cold we saw in December and January, especially January, the freezes that we had. So we'll see what happens, but that's climatologically speaking, getting something where we briefly get a freeze is not unheard of. I don't see it at this time for this upcoming Monday morning, right? But we'll keep a close eye on it. All right, let's take you live outside. St. Pete right now, just beautiful blue skies. Real quiet weather, really, to be honest with you out there. Air temperature, 81 degrees. Now, we'll start to watch for some fog because you see the dew points around 59 degrees. I think we'll stay above that for tonight. I do think we'll start to see a little bit more fog, not Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning, but Thursday morning, and I'll show you that coming up. So any of your plans out there for this evening are looking fine. There's no rain out there. You can see just a few clouds, and even those are starting to fall apart. Excuse me, now that we're seeing the daytime heating go by. High pressure just off the Carolina coast, and that is what's dominating our weather. That is also what's giving us more of a southerly wind, which is a warm and more muggy wind. Frontal boundaries way back up to the north and the west, so nothing for us to worry about. Kind of typical for us, this time of the year to talk about just sunny and dry. Here's the forecast model, and you can see as we go through the evening hours, we lose a little bit of those clouds that we saw, and that's tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's not much in the way of fog. There'll be some patches. And not all of this is even fog. This is actually just a few low clouds, even some mid-level clouds. All right, but no rain coming out of those. And look at that temperature, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Futurecast is saying 64 degrees with a south to southeast wind. That's one of the reasons why it stays so warm. Now, as we go into your Wednesday afternoon, another beautiful day just like today, right up near 80 degrees for Tampa. I don't know why that's saying, there it is, 76, that's adjusting. But you can see that we're going to be just as warm as today as we were tomorrow as we were today. So plan on the same thing. Now, let's talk about Wednesday night and Thursday morning. And this is a little bit tougher to see, but that light gray that you see here, all of this, right, that I think is fog. And this is not rain, but the model tends to do that when we get some pretty thick fog just off the coast. But we're going to have more of a southerly wind, and temperatures, or dew points, I should say, are going to be higher. And when the dew point comes up, it's going to get closer to that low temperature, and that's when we're going to see some fog. Now, it'll burn off just like normal. And then as we get into Thursday afternoon, look at that. 4 o'clock, we're in the upper 70s after topping out close to around 80, 82 degrees. So Tampa and the folks along the coast will get up close to 80. And then by about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, the winds come in off the water, and we've cooled things down while it's still on the warm side for inland locations. Okay, let's talk fog. This is the visibility forecast. This is tonight into the overnight hours for tomorrow morning. Patchy fog, nothing major, okay? We'll see some patches. This is around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. You see a 2¼ mile visibility. That's not bad at all. Anytime you see under a mile, or especially under a quarter mile, right, or half a mile, that's pretty thick fog. But we don't see that for tomorrow, okay? Burns off whatever we see really quickly. Wednesday afternoon, beautiful. Here we go. Thursday morning, 7 a.m. That is widespread fog. Most areas below a half a mile visibility or so. So remember when we had that last week and we were talking, and in fact, it was Thursday, right? And remember we were saying we think we're probably going to repeat this pattern, and it looks like it's going to be Thursday again. And that's exactly what we saw last Wednesday and Thursday. That's what we're going to see this Thursday, and we'll have to watch Friday for it, although it will burn off by about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Okay, so nothing new, nothing severe there any way that you look at it. And unfortunately, there's no rain in the forecast, at least not the immediate forecast. Sunday, as I mentioned, is our next chance for some showers. So for your Wednesday, beautiful. Starts in the low 60s, goes up to near 80, and then falls into the mid 70s in the afternoon. The wind, you can see there, kind of goes more of a southwest wind and west in the afternoon. That's the sea breeze coming through. Okay, so water temperature still in the low 60s. We'll get there. Look at it right now. It's at 63 degrees. I think that by Thursday, Friday, we'll be close to at least 65, 66 degrees. So it's going to come up pretty quickly. And then the cool down that we get Sunday night into Monday and kind of Tuesday is brief. And then by Wednesday, Thursday, we're starting to warm things back up. And I mentioned that because of that water temperature should continue to rise just a little bit. Obviously, it'll level off beginning of next week, but it's coming up altogether. All right, good, because we're wimps around here when it comes to the water. A lot of folks don't go in when it's below 80 degrees, but 70s. I would like some upper 70s at least. All right, expect the rain over the next 5 days. You can see nothing until we get to Sunday. And Sunday is not a whole lot of rain. Right now we have about a 30% chance. This is this Friday, and you can see there's an old frontal boundary sitting up north. This is it right here. You can clearly see, but clearly see by the rain. But what we're looking at, you see the white line? See the kink right there? Little kink, little kink. There is actually a front from this low that goes just something like this. And you can see by these lines, right? See the curve in that line, the curve in that line, curve in that line. That's how we know. We look for these curves of equal lines of pressure, and then we draw the fronts through there. All right. Now, on this map, you could just look where the rain is, and you got to see where the green is, right? So that front will weaken. There's not really much to it, but a low develops on that old front, and that's what you're starting to see right here. This is Saturday afternoon in the Carolinas. Okay, see the old frontal boundary just kind of laid out here across Georgia, South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, right? Now that, as this low develops, remember the winds are going counterclockwise around it, right? So they're coming in this direction. So as this gets stronger, it's going to push more and push further south. So watch as we go through. I'm going to do this slowly here. See how we go through Sunday morning? That's around sunrise. That's 9 o'clock. Now we've got your low sitting here off the coast. Let me back this up a little bit. There's our low. It's strengthening. That means we're getting more of this flow around the backside. That means we're pushing this flow down. And we actually have a high pressure sitting up here. And so the difference between the two of these systems is bringing this good north wind. And there is some chilly air behind it. All right, so that's the setup for Sunday. Notice the rain here. All right, that's the rain chance on Sunday is now looking like it's going to be a better chance in the first half of the day. And then cooling, temperatures dropping, dew points dropping as we go through the rest of the afternoon hours, right? And then that gets us into, that's already in the Tuesday. But the bottom line is you can see there's another area of high pressure right here. It takes over. So that particular pattern, where you get one chance for a shower every week and a half, that's kind of typical for this time of the year here. And so we're starting to get back to that pattern. This will be a little bit of a cooler down behind it, right? We haven't seen so much of that yet because we've been so warm last week or so, but we do get at least a brief cool down. This is the temperature outlook that really takes us through the last part of the month into the first week of March. So it kind of shows, yeah, we'll get a cool down next week, at least a brief one. But overall, it looks like we're going to be warming things up quite a bit. The month generally has an average high temperature, starts at 72 and ends at 76. So by February 28th, the average high temperature is 76 degrees, 78. And so this is saying we'll probably be closer to 80, and that will carry over in the first week of March. So if you like it warm, and you didn't like our January, like our plants didn't, I hate to see all those plants that are out there. Then you're going to like what you see here. So let's go take a look at our 7-day forecast. You can see we've got beautiful weather most of this week, at least for the work week for sure. Saturday, I think, looks good. I mean, if you got friends in town, this is a great time for that, right? Friday, 82 degrees, 83 on Saturday. We're talking beach weather. And again, the water temperature should get up into the mid to upper 60s. It's kind of low 60s now. And then Sunday does turn breezy and cooler. Sunday's not going to be the best beach day. It's not going to be a good boating day. If you've got boating plans, definitely want to take Saturday over Sunday. And then Monday is going to be chilly. Right now, we're going 48 degrees in the morning. Could be a touch cooler as we get into Tuesday morning, just because we'll have the high pressure and light winds kind of over top of us. That's when we get, usually the second day after the front tends to be the coldest morning. with light winds. And that could be the case, but I don't think it's terrible. I think just about everybody in the viewing area stays above freezing, which is good, which I don't know. It's already done the damage. Grasses are dormant, completely dormant now, but we're getting there. We're going to warm things up a little bit. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk drought. We'll take a look at some of those numbers. And with us being warm and dry here in the east, it's finally starting to get colder. It's finally getting some snow out west. We'll talk about that coming up.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
With a fresh new look and over 60 years of keeping Floridians comfortable, Cool Today is the name to trust for fast same-day service. Cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Our friendly expert technicians take the hassle out of home repair today. And Cool Today is here for you tomorrow, too. That's why we're introducing a parts and labor warranty on select AC systems for a lifetime. For cooling, plumbing, or electrical service, get the best from today and for years to come. Cool Today.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. You need quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
I was driving when a Ford pickup truck barreled into me from behind, sending me to the hospital.
I knew my husband was going to need an excellent attorney, so I called Dan Newland.
I'm so glad my wife called Dan. Dan really fought for me. He won my case and got me $650,000.
If you've been involved in a car accident, allow me to fight for you. Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Thanks, Dan, for winning my husband's case.
All right, so we know the drought has been bad. We know the drought's actually going to get worse before it gets better. That is the case. Some spots got some decent rain over the weekend, and that did help at least a little bit, all right? But we are still in the dry season. We don't expect to see a whole lot. If you take a look at the map and we can compare what we did last week versus what we've seen the latest update, and you can see especially in this area that's down here in, say, the southwest, this Manatee, Sarasota County, that's what we call extreme drought, has crept up now into southwestern Polk County, southern parts of Hillsborough. It's expanding out there, Sun City Center. This is basically out through Fishhawk, which is an extreme drought now. I mean, cutting hairs here doesn't matter. We're really dry. But then you notice up here in the Citrus County, too. It's moved southward in there from what we had last week. Okay? So it is getting worse. I do expect it to get worse, obviously, before it gets better. And to be honest with you, we probably really will not see a huge change until we get to late May or June. I mean, that's really when the rainy season starts getting to go. So it's probably going to be a while. We're going to have a pretty good wildfire season here. We're going to keep a close eye on it. Meanwhile, out west, so we started talking about that. They've been so dry as far as snow goes out there, but they are getting nailed right now with a ton of snow. The pattern shifted a little bit. That's why we're kind of warmer and drier in the eastern half of the United States. And it's not necessarily a whole bunch of cold air pouring down south, but you see this spin here, that low that you see right here. It is bringing some cooler air back down, brings some moisture in as well, and then you get into the higher elevations here, the Sierra Nevadas, and you end up with a pretty good amount of snow. All right, and it looks like this trend will continue for a while. So, guys, if we can go ahead, there's a winter storm out west. There's a reporter, Reed Binion. He's got a package on. I want to show you what it looks like out there. It's pretty wild.
One of the things that we're concerned about with this storm is winds. Winds have been expected with gusts up to 60 miles per hour.
Authorities in Southern California reacting to the first of a series of storms threatening the Pacific coast this week.
Heavy equipment operators. We've set up a swiftwater rescue team that's ready to respond, aviation resources.
The National Weather Service extended a flash flood warning Monday for parts of LA County amid reports of flash flooding and rock slides, with heavy rain forcing road closures due to mud and debris slides. Of particular concern, the possibility of debris flow on the burn scars from last year's massive wildfires.
This is all new mud, and some of the debris, you could see some of the burnt pieces of wood from the fire.
In Northern California and the Central Coast, the severe weather resulted in flooding and road closures and prompted rescues.
Felton firefighters actually went around and were able to hike and get to those two people to make sure that they were okay.
The storm also causing downed trees and power outages. Meanwhile, in the Sierras, there was heavy snow. And while it made roads hazardous, it was also a welcome sight for some, including skiers. The winter storm also pushing into Nevada, with slick conditions snarling traffic on parts of Interstate 80 at the California-Nevada border.
I knew there was going to be snow today, and I should have left yesterday instead of today, but oh well, I'm stuck here now. I can't even drive.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Let's take a live look out there right now. This is Mammoth Mountain, and they are just getting dumped on. I was just looking at something. It was 16 to 18 inches, I think I saw. That is what the doctor ordered for them. They really needed that. The second half of the season, and I think this goes all the way out to Colorado as well, will be the best part of this season. It's been so dry. I mean, Park City, the video I've been seeing come out of there, it's not good. The canyons, that whole area. So if you bought an Epic Pass and you got plans to go out, and I know you've been keeping an eye on it, doesn't look good, it's getting better, and I think it will be pretty decent for the rest of the season. Can't tell exactly how long it'll go out there. We're kind of transitioning from a La Nina to an El Nino here over the spring months and into early summer. So we'll see how that transition actually affects it. But this is really good news for them. Now, it can be dangerous, so if you have friends or family out there, let them know it's a ton of snow, and they know it's coming. But they definitely need to be hunkered down for that kind of stuff. It's going to be tough to travel there for quite some time. Marshall Ziegler, there was out in Aspen, they got so much snow, they had some skiers that actually had to be airlifted out. Let's hear about that.
Just be glad you cannot feel what you see in this video.
If you are moving, you can stay warm. By the end of it, we were probably moving like 30 feet every 30 minutes.
John Hodge is one of 7 backcountry skiers who took this route near Aspen on Sunday to get to the Goodwin Green Huts at close to 12,000 feet.
We're on a ridge past sunset, 60-mile-per-hour gusts, negative 20 degrees.
It got so bad, one of the skiers suffered severe frostbite and hypothermia and could not continue.
People were giving her piggyback rides, carrying her, and progress was really slow going.
John's nose shows a sample of the frostbite he said each member of the group suffered. 2 needed rescuing late Sunday night, with one of the skiers in critical condition. Using GPS data from one of the rescue team members, you see the flight path for the medical helicopter. There are 3 lines and lots of circles because clouds made it impossible for the helicopter to land the first 2 attempts.
I was laying on them for probably an hour while a heli did some laps and then ran out of gas and had to go back to Aspen and then came back out. So it was really gut-wrenching.
Unfortunately, at night, up in that hazardous terrain, you can't fly a helicopter into clouds when you can't see. That's a good way to have a disaster.
Jeff Edelson is the chief rescue leader for Mountain Rescue Aspen. When the helicopter landed and rescuers got to the 2 patients, one of the rescuers had to stay behind for space.
We do know that our helicopter rides in have the ability to be a one-way ticket sometimes.
After taking the patients to Aspen Valley Health early in the morning, the helicopter returned for the rescuer, then came back hours later for 2 more skiers who made it to the hut. One of them could not see because of frostbite. GPS from the second rescue shows a ground team taking essentially the same route the skiers took the day before, while a medical helicopter was able to get in and out much easier than overnight. 2 rescues for the same group at no cost because the volunteer rescue team is free of charge.
Is there a limit to the free service?
So there is no limit to our free services of Mountain Rescue Aspen.
Would you guys go back to this hut again?
We already talked about it.
John says he'd go back and told us today his hypothermic friend continues to improve in the hospital.
The flight medics told them that we were critical in her survival.
That's amazing. Wild, wild story. And can't believe rescuers had to go in the same way on foot. That is amazing. Amazing people out there. All right, let's take a break. Just about 4:50. We come back, we'll take a look at some of the extended forecasts. And, of course, your 7-day. We'll look at that once again.
autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
I was driving when an 18-wheeler turned in front of me. I locked up my brakes, bam, slid dead into the truck. Bloody and hurt, I was loaded into an ambulance, and that's when I put out my phone and called attorney Dan Newton. Dan jumped right on it. He was in my corner the whole way. He fought the fight from beginning to end and got me $1 million.
Involved in a car accident? Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Dan, your awesome team deserves 6 stars. Thank you for winning my case.
With a fresh new look and over 60 years of keeping Floridians comfortable, Cool Today is the name to trust for fast same-day service. Cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Our friendly expert technicians take the hassle out of home repair today. And Cool Today is here for you tomorrow, too. That's why we're introducing a parts and labor warranty on select AC systems for a lifetime. For cooling, plumbing, or electrical service, get the best from today and for years to come. Cool Today.
Jeopardy is for everybody.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah.
With players just like you.
Paramedic, a retired teacher, psychiatrist.
I'm a little bit competitive.
That's the spirit.
Watch their victories.
We have a giant killer.
And heartbreaks.
Oh, no.
The next super champion could be anyone.
It's almost like a superhero origin story.
It could be you.
Oh, wow.
It's all happening on Jeopardy.
Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30, right here on 10 Tampa Bay.
All right, talking about that chance for fog over the next couple of days. We'll have some patchy fog tomorrow morning. I think more widespread fog on Thursday morning. Friday probably going to be pretty patchy as well. One of the ways we look at that is we look at the dew point numbers, and these are actually pretty high for this time of the year. So your low temperatures are going to be somewhere near this, right, in the low 60s over the next several days. It's a little bit drier on Saturday. I think Saturday morning will be fine. But we'll keep an eye on it. Obviously, it's not severe weather. We don't have to worry about that, but it is something that we're going to do. Dew points around 61. Look at our forecast lows here, 62 to 64. So we're just above that number. If they get equal, that's when we get more fog. So it's very, very close. There's the cool air. All right, Tuesday morning probably will be the coldest, and we're thinking about 48 Monday morning, probably about 43, 44 on Tuesday morning. Now, that's for Tampa. If you're watching from Hernando or Citrus counties, we have a chance for freezing temperatures, but at this point, I don't see that. All right, I will keep an eye on it. I will tell you that Monday morning, even if we're in the 40s to near 50 degrees, it will be windy, and it's going to feel like it's in the 30s. Okay, so it's going to be chilly for Monday morning. It's been warm lately because with the flip-flop, I get complaints like, oh, it was too cold before, now it's too hot. Those are the average temperatures kind of near the middle of the month for each one. And this time of the year, on one time,